Welcome, everyone. This is Betska, the Guru Coach, with co-host Raj Vashisht, and welcome to Mindful Leadership Beyond Borders. And today, our guest is success coach Hemant Jain. He's a life and career transformation coach. Let me give you a little bit of background on this wonderful gentleman. He brings 2 decades of his global change management and consulting experience across Asia, Europe, and the Middle East. He hails from, actually originally from Mumbai, but lives in Dubai and is currently in Kuwait. That's the story I'm getting. And he works with mid and senior management professionals and helps them to achieve their goals like any good coach would do. And he helps them by breaking through the mental barriers preventing their growth. He takes individuals through an 18-month intensive coaching journey. I like to do that too, actually, Hemant, to make it a year and a half, sometimes 2 years, right? Because then you can really get into the leadership competencies, can't you? Yeah.
Yes.
And because he wants to set them up for success, supported by growth habits and consistent actions. And something very interesting about Hemant, he's known for his movie references and pushing people out of their comfort zone. He's often referred to as the hashtag filmy coach and hashtag uncomfortable coach. So let's start with that. How come you have hashtag uncomfortable? What do you do? And I see it on your background there. Tell us about that.
Yes. So these names came to me by people I work with. So they started calling me these names, and I said, "Oh, nice name. Let me take on that branding." So we often in coaching we often talk about in self growth and development. We talk about you got to go beyond your comfort zone, and that almost becomes the first conversation I have with clients, potential clients, that you are where you are comfortably. And you might have heard through your life that be yourself. And my recommendation is don't be yourself, because if you continue to be yourself, you will remain where you are and not go where you want to go. You got to change, you got to transform. So you have to get out of the comfort zone. And that's where people begin to understand what is this whole thing about comfort zone. They said you will have to push yourself beyond what you're doing, take up new things, new experiences, new challenges, new projects, new learnings, uh, uh, new programs. And that is where they begin to understand. And they say that, Hemant, all this is very uncomfortable. I said, that's my job. And that's how I got the name of the uncomfortable coach. In my conversations, in my talks, in the public speaking that I do, I use a lot of movie references, whether it's Hollywood, whether it's Bollywood, depending on the audience, depending on what I'm talking about. So I got the name of the filmy coach by some of the attendees. They started calling me the filmy coach. That's how I got these two names.
Well, fabulous. And I mean, a good coach makes you feel uncomfortable, right? Because that means that there's some growth happening.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think I really agree with that. I mean, why else would you hire a coach?
Absolutely. I mean, no pain, no gain.
Yeah, no pain, no gain. I love it. Okay. So, um, one of the thoughts that we wanted to share today, and Raj, I mentioned to you that Hemant and I are part of 17 authors that have just published this week this book called Unleashing Potential Strategies for Life Mastery. And Hemant, I was reading your chapter again last night. It's a wonderful chapter on self-awareness.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So tell us about self-awareness, because I thought that was, and maybe we've already started the conversation about, as coaches, making people feel uncomfortable, right?
Absolutely. Because
Yeah.
it
So,
starts with the self-awareness, knowing
uh-huh.
where you are comfortable, and actually understanding that while you were feeling comfortable, you actually became complacent. You were not moving, you were not growing. That realization often doesn't even come. And that's part of self-awareness. Knowing what is not right, what is just comfortable, where you are moving, where you're not. But I often start with the example of Google Maps, our GPS systems, which help us navigate our path everywhere we drive these days. So in Google Maps, you can put the destination, but it won't show you the path unless you tell where you are.
Yeah.
A map can only show a path if both the points are very clearly known. The place where you have to go and the place you are currently, or the place you want to start from. People have goals, people have dreams, people have desires. They do not have clarity on where they are in life.
Mm-hmm.
And unless they have these 2 points cleared, they can't really design a path to go from where they are to where they have. What happens is people have their goals and desires, which of course sometimes are also borrowed goals. They look at other people who have achieved those and they try to copy the steps without realizing that their journey and the journey of the other successful people is going to be different. You both
Yes.
had 2 different starting points.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right? So you're not singing from the same hymn sheet because it's not possible. So that's where the self-awareness, understanding yourself, understanding your personality, understanding how you think, why you think what you think is extremely important. Because your core values will be different, your value system will be different. The path you might want to take to success will be different depending on the value systems.
One of the assessments that we offer to our coaching clients is called Happiness in 7 Areas of Your Life. It's a free online assessment, and you probably have something similar. But it's so great because the client will do it, and they go, "Oh my God, I never thought that I was bothered about my finances, or my social life is terrible, or I wish I was happier in my family life," or they do this wonderful assessment, and then they can create a more robust learning and development plan. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. As they say, I mean, sometimes that to find a solution to a problem, first you need to know the problem. You have to
Yeah.
define your problem correctly. Because most of the
Yeah.
times, people look at symptoms rather than the problem and try to solve the symptoms. And the problem stays as it is. The symptoms go, another set of symptoms will come up. So the self-awareness bit, I mean, I think every coaching journey, the initial phase is just self-assessment. In different ways, the coach is trying to assess where the individual is and also helping that individual assess where he or she is. Because without there is no starting point and you cannot really move forward. So hence a very foundational element of every individual. In fact, even if a person is not working with a coach, they would still need to do some sort of a self-assessment to even begin progressing, to even moving forward. So that is extremely necessary.
Absolutely. You're so clear in your concept of self-awareness. Now, in the book, in your chapter in Unleashing Potential, you talk about the 3 different levels of self-awareness being emotional, self-awareness, social, and internal. Can you talk a little bit about that? Because that I found quite fascinating.
Right. So, I mean, if you look at it, let me just simplify.
Okay.
Knowing yourself is the beginning.
Yes.
Right? Who you are as an individual, how you think. That's what I was talking about, your core values, and so on and so forth. The next is your interaction with people around you. That's where it goes from your emotional to the social self-awareness. How comfortable or, let's say, uncomfortable you are with people around you. And it can be with very specific people. That is where the concepts of introvert, extrovert come in. It's where you treat some people as friends and you see other people as threats to yourself. And so on and so forth. So that's where the awareness of what works, what does not work in relationships, that comes in. And then you put these 2 together, and then you have to create your success in life, which is the overall context of the society. That's where you extend it. So even when it comes to self-awareness, you will have to take it bits and pieces in stages, because you can't just jump across. Without understanding yourself, you cannot understand your relationships. I was just giving an example to my client yesterday that there is no real world outside. Right? I take a reference back to the movie Matrix, where it's all a software simulation. And I say that that's actually true in our lives. all three of us right now, we can go to a movie theater, watch the same movie, same show, same time, and we come out with three completely diverse and different views about that same movie.
Yep.
We are
We would.
standing there and somebody just walks by and drops something on the floor, and three of us will interpret that very differently. Someone would see it as a funny incident, another one would see it's like careless person. The reality which we create is all in our heads. Unless we decode that and understand how we think and how we create our reality, we won't understand our interaction with other people. We always feel that other people behave in a certain manner with us. What we forget and what we miss out is they are just reacting to our behavior with them.
It's true.
Right?
Yeah,
We
very true.
often
Yes.
mirror behaviors. Somebody who's not nice with us, it's not very easy to be nice to them.
So true. Very true. Yeah.
When somebody is being rude to us, we sometimes lose ourselves and like we start responding in a way they understand, in their language, in their words.
Yeah.
Right? A lot of people are doing that with us and we miss out on our behavior. So start understanding yourself. You will begin to understand your relationships and the environment around you. So that's the whole concept and expanding it.
Absolutely. So basically, everyone in life should have a good understanding of, be very aware of where
Yes.
they are in life right now in any area of their life. And the other thing I got out of this first segment was how important it is for people to become uncomfortable with their lives so that they can make some changes to move forward. It's
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. So we're going to be coming back in part 2. And in part 2, what I really want to talk to Hemant about is corporations, corporate people going through midlife crisis. Wow. Stay tuned. That's going to be an exciting moment. See you soon.
Absolutely.